Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Presmon, and today we're back with some more Binding of Issac, because I just feel like playing it, to be honest. That is the only reason I do anything, anywhere. So, who do we need to play as to do that? Let's do a Lazarus run, actually. Let's do a Lazarus run. Try and get him up and there as well, right? But yeah, how are we all doing? I am doing really well. Had a lovely stream yesterday, which was me playing Slay the Spire. We had some pretty good runs. I am still terrible at the game. You know, Melon isn't my name for a reason, because I am as dumb as one. Nah. As I said, like, most of the time I just play games to relax, right? More than anything else, so... yeah, and as I said to a lot of people, I don't mind people backseat gaming me, because end of the day, oh come on, really? I won't learn anything if people don't, right? A tears down, great.
Shot speed down.
Man, 2 bad pills, and... oh, great. You know, game, just kill me. So you seem like that's what you want to do, right? But yeah, so I've been kind of like chilling out, enjoying stuff, playing a good amount of Monster Hunter as well, which is we'll pick up later, just in case I die. Euphoria, I'll take it. Ooh, an extra coin. I'll take that as well. Yeah, so I'm playing a good amount of that and kind of like building up a collection of random stuff and chilling out and just having a bit of fun, really. No, just kill me. We'll take the damage up, we'll lose the heart, like it's fine at this point. I still took damage from... this is why I hate spiders. Okay. Let's go protect myself. I don't have a bomb. No point going to shops. Can't do anything with that either. But yeah. Other than that, I haven't been really doing much. Kind of got a good setup for my D&D campaign, which is like an idea that I was messing around with. Right? So, not everyone here will probably know, because it kind of like came up like at the end of last week, which is kind of interesting. Is I saw a little kind of I guess I would say, yeah, I saw a short on someone saying they wanted to play a mimic, right? And I had this idea of like how to make it work, and not like actually play a mimic, but like an NPC that was a mimic that kind of like they didn't know about. And I saw it as like a Jekyll and Hyde situation of like, hang on a minute, I could actually like get this to work really well. And so I've been spending designing an entire town and pretty much just like everything across the board. Anything good in here? With that, which is taking up a lot of my time. Although, like, naming stuff is not my forte, so everything is designed, set up with personalities and everything else as well, and like really cool bunch of people, or like all sorts of the tragedy stuff, like kind of push the plot along for it and things. But I do not know what to call them yet. And I've got the idea of what the twists are, the multiple ending choices of the whole quest, depending on where they go, different set scenes as well, which can be either used or ignored depending on where they would like to go. You know, it's one of the things I always like doing is setting up multiple different kind of like ways to find information, but different bits of information, right? And then like having stuff that conflicts with the information they've already given as well, and they got to try and like find the evidence to disprove it. Like some of this is like done on a dice roll on my end, right? So it is kind of funny. So like certain things will be like, I don't know what bit of information or like how that information is going to affect the story, right? So every so often I'll be rolling die through like the campaign and stuff, and they'll be like, why are you rolling die? I'm like, no reason. And then like that will like change the outcome of like what is going to happen. Not really. Have I gotten another heart? When did I get another life? Or does Lazarus be able to do that, like, every floor? Interesting, I think. Really? And, you know, I just use the strength, because I think I'm going to have an issue otherwise. So yeah, I will eventually, like set up a bunch of stuff. Be like, oh, okay, so this is like now, you know, we're in the evil time zone kind of thing. You know, or we're in the good time zone if they don't do this. It's kind of similar on, ooh, that's kind of good. I like Jacob's Ladder. So, is it? No. What is it? Dead by Dawn? Oh no. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? What? No, Until Dawn. I think I know what it's called, but my brain just makes it always sound wrong. So, yeah, someone please correct me on that. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. I would like Hive Mind, but I don't have any flies. There's no point. We'll just take the Spirit Heart and leave. Oh, really? So yeah, I've been basically setting up those multiple choice endings and stuff like on repeat. And I must say, like, they work out really well, you know? Get the poison on them. You kind of got a good run here. Too bad I was playing like an idiot to start with, right? Oh, I would love to take Brimstone. I can't though. That'd kill me. Okay, never mind. Carry on. Maybe we'll get deals with the Angel. Maybe we'll get deals with the Angel this time round. Ah, cool. Yeah, I get a life every level. Okay, that's a buff to Lazarus, I think. It's like a huge buff.
One makes you large.
Great. One makes me larger, eh? A Tears downgrade. Don't really want that. But yeah. So, I mean, as we might as well discuss it, because, like, no one from my D&D sessions ever watches any of these, and if they do, I'm going to be very surprised, and I'll be like... slight embarrassment. Well, the fact that, you know, like, I like keeping stuff like certain things private. Like, I segregate a lot of my stuff out between, like, you know, what I do and where I do it kind of thing, right? I don't like this stuff mixing between stuff. Like, so if I've got, like, work is work, friends are friends, work friends are work friends, and so on and so forth, right? Like, they're in their boxes, they don't come out of the boxes. Get back in the box. No, so anyway. So what I've set up is a small village with a lord at the moment, which, is kind of like this, like, the history of it. And essentially, like, the lord was having trouble with a bunch of, like, monsters, goblins, all that sort of stuff that were kind of, like, constantly attacking the village, and he was trying to develop the area. eventually, like, he hires a bunch of adventurers. One of the adventurers in the party is a female paladin, which essentially he falls in love with, and obviously she does with him as well. And eventually, like, they get married, they then serve the land together, and, like, she still protects it to this day, as well as obviously he does as well. Eventually, on one of their excursions, she gets taken out. So she is killed in action. At which point, kind of like, they do kind of like get her body back and they resurrect her, but the body was that of the mimic, it wasn't of her, right? Give me HP. Just damage. Damage and HP, thank you very much. So, like, they resurrect her, she comes back, but now she's basically part mimic. I know, this is, you know, and like, suspension of disbelief, but like, she doesn't know this and no one else does. So, over the course, like, the next few years or so, people keep going missing. Normally about like a certain cycle, which I haven't decided on what that's going to be, but like people just disappear completely and there's no trace of them. So obviously they're there to keep it first being like, can you investigate stuff? They find no traces or anything else because essentially they're just looking for her, but she doesn't know this either. It's just like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. And eventually then the Lord goes missing, at which point they kind of like, I've already hired other adventurers, but this is like where like a plot point for like the adventure comes in. So if the adventurers see the quest at any point, post on the board or hear about it anywhere else as well and decide not to take the quest, this triggers the phase of which the town is very annoyed that the Lady of the Land hasn't decided to basically seek help, which is kind of interesting because she has obviously tried to, but they don't see it like that. They only see it that now that the Lord's gone missing, suddenly adventures appeared up, which causes discourse between the Lord and Land. Which is, you know, one of the reasons why I mess around with stuff like that, right? Timing is a really good way to, not also get characters to do things, but to progress everything else along a path, right? Because now there's consequences for both the people and also, everyone else because of their delays and stuff for whatever reason. Admittedly, I'm going to be fair about the delays, you know. There is fairness in it. If they see it and go to it straight away, then of course, then it's kind of like, okay, you know, they've been hired. People are like, oh, finally you're doing something about it. Still with discourse, but not as bad. Right? So there is that as well. So we got that side of stuff as well, which is going to be interesting. Ooh, sulfur, temporary demon form. I like the ability to fly though. So yeah, so then obviously they go through their investigations. There's going to be hints towards like a necromancer being around, hints towards vampires, like all this sort of cool stuff that I feel like actually it's going to be really cool to kind of mess with them a little bit. Ooh, bread. I'll take that. And basically all it is there is to essentially to throw them off a little bit, and there'll be like other hints like the fact there's no actual zombies anywhere. Normal corpses will slowly, you know, exist. They won't be like they've disappeared anywhere. So like, why would it be a necromancer if it's only just people, like living people going missing? Like, why do we not see other signs of like vampires and stuff? And so there'll be evidence to contradict the other evidence, basically, right? I like the idea of having like some sort of red herrings all over the place as such, to kind of mislead them a little bit. Not in a bad way, but in a way where it will require them to actually think about it and like what's happening. And like all through this, depending on how their interaction with the people is, and there are other interactions with like just like the Lady of the Land and how they interact with stuff will depend on like how people see them, perceive them. And also how people will perceive the lady as well. Like, that's the other big thing, right? Because eventually, obviously, if they do find out that, you know, she is technically a mimic but doesn't know that she's been killing people, we've got to go through that discussion. Now, how does that going to work? I really do dislike you games sometimes. No way I was in range for that. Let's go back to the Rainbow Poop Room. Thank you very much. So with like all that going on, it's like, okay, so they have the choice. They tell her that she's a mimic, and then like how does she take that and stuff? And if she's already like on the discourse track of like people don't trust her opinion, they're all kind of like against her already before they even start, and all this stuff as well. Like, it really puts the dichotomy of like, is she even doing the right thing anymore? Which basically involves her like breaking her own oath and doubt, like self-doubt and stuff like that, which really does change like how she's going to interact with the party going forwards. Here's the other bit where she loses her own willpower, at which point the mimic takes like full control, and then we get that kind of like Metroid fusion type of dealy, right? Which as a boss fight is going to come out like really good, although I gotta finish the stat block on that because that's a lot more difficult in my head of like how I'm gonna get that to work, right? Yeah, I'm looking for the item room, aren't I? So. And then there's like the last bit where it's like it's the redemption arc, right? You know, she trusts in the people. You know, they find that the Lord isn't actually dead as such; he's still alive, and like she can make the ultimate sacrifice to keep people alive and stuff. And then this kind of rolls into like one of the main campaigns I'm dealing with at the moment. So if we go with the redemption arc, right, and essentially she redeems herself and stuff like that, there is no way she can be resurrected again, right? She finds inner peace. She comes to terms with what she was and who she is and the actions she must take to protect the town and everything else as well. Because, like, her body is still out there. Remember that. Like, it's not like it's disappeared. Like, all this is done with a mimic. So, this makes it really good on the idea of, like, okay, so she becomes, like, an Oathbreaker paladin. Like, she can be resurrected again in her actual body. And my god, that's going to be a really cool campaign, like, twist to throw out somewhere out of nowhere. Just later on, like, my big bad evil guy is just like, oh, by the way, do you remember this person? And like, oh no. I gotta do some balancing on like her stat block and stuff, but I got some thematic things I want to kind of implement as well, so there is that also. Let's take that, open up that. Oh, let's see what this pill is.
Power pill.
Power pill, cool. You get some coins, why not? I should do more to the donation machine, but I keep avoiding it, right? Okay. Like that's really going to throw like a wrench into the works and stuff with that. And then I've got like, you know, all the villages, how it makes money, its trade, its, you know, interaction with other places, like how that's going to affect the overall places that I kind of have this in. I mean, my friends do ask me like how I come up with all these designs and stuff, and I literally like, I steal stuff from everywhere. Like, someone will come up with an idea, and I'm like, okay, how do I get that to work? And then my brain just, it runs away with it, right? Like, there is no kind of, like, process for me to be like, actually, yeah, this is how I want to do this thing. It's just like, no. No, I took a hit. Yeah, we'll do that. Though stat is shot speed. Oh, I missed the coins. So I really do kind of enjoy like designing all this stuff, right? And I always do, like, I'll take my time with it. I'll think about, like what the best course of action will be, like, where to go with stuff, how that's going to influence the story. And, of course, what's great about it is because of the randomness that I introduce these side campaigns on, right? So, like, I don't do them the same way every single time. It means that if we play a different campaign, or even the same campaign, you'll have different story beats, which will come and lead to, like, different outcomes all the way through the story because of these, like, little random side stuff, right? So it keeps, like, replayability and variation as well. The fact that most things will always have, like, 3 or 4 different endings in most cases. Plus the impact on the world design as well is kind of the whole reason I do it for, right? Like, most people say, like, keep it simple, stupid, and I completely agree with that, but stuff like this, I think sometimes just, it adds to the, world a little bit more if you kind of, like, take the time and effort to really kind of think how stuff kind of puts together and build this giant puzzle piece. And to me, that's all it is just building a giant puzzle. Be like, okay, how are people going to interact with this? What's going to happen? What's more natural for the characters to play themselves? Like, what they're going to do and stuff. So I'm really, like, happy to see this. Once it's, like, fully finished and I've done, like, a test playthrough and stuff on, like, how I want stuff to go and things, I will then probably put it into, like, the normal rotation of all the other campaigns I've designed, and then, like, wait until someone goes, oh, let's go off in that direction for no apparent reason, and I'll be like, please roll a 5, please roll a 5, please roll a 5, or something, you know? Oh, come on, really? Because I really want to show this enough. I think it's the one that I'm going to be like, after the testing and the variations that I've got to make to it, I think I'm going to be, like, super happy with it as, like, a side campaign. Like a one-shot. So it's like the pinnacle of, like, what I want to happen, right? But we'll have to see. Like I said, like, shot speed down again. Like it's not perfect, I will admit that. But it's an idea in my mind that I was like, actually, you know what? I want to test this out. Can this be done? Is this a good idea? And so far, it's looking alright. It's looking alright. But yeah, how I'm going to test it, though, I don't know if I'll do my same test and stuff. That'll be fairly interesting or not. Or if I grab a few people that decide they just want to do a one-shot and be like, hey, you guys want to do a one-shot? I got this side campaign I want to do that will last, like, you know, a few hours or so. Do you want to play? And then just shorten it enough to be like, yeah, this will work, kind of thing. Did not get a spirit heart. Much disappointment. I'm getting all the active items today. They're kind of like having the pony. I do love this Jacob's Ladder. It's pretty much like handling my DPS by itself at this point. Full health. Nice notes in the rotation. I mean, overall, do I think, I'm kind of on the idea of, like, am I doing too much in some cases, right? I'm always thinking about stuff like that. Because it's very important that I'm not kind of overthinking things and just taking them a little bit easy. But it has really taken up my entire weekend. I really mean that. Like, I streamed for a couple of hours to kind of like chill out and get away from it, and I was straight back into it like the moment I got off as well as like after doing like, you know, actual lifestyle jobs. You know, adulting and all that. Tiny planet. Now we've just ruined myself. Maybe. Oh no, I guess because they don't... Oh, this is interesting. Because I can ramp up my, my tear rate, and I just fire in one direction only. The only thing I need now is, like, piercing tears, and I'm kind of laughing. The tick. Actually, it's probably better here. I ain't coming off now. We'll just wait for the tears to disappear first before I bomb this. And I can't take that either. We'll just ramp up my shot speed, my my tear rate first. Hide over, like, a particular area. Go in here. Ooh, cool. But yeah, I am genuinely looking forward to when I get to, like, pull this out of nowhere and be like, hey guys, here's an interesting campaign. Like, they're not going to know anything going into it. They're going to believe that they were hired by the Lady of the Land to investigate some random people that have gone missing, right? And pretty much that's all they're going to know. And they're going to, like, find all this stuff out going for it as we hopefully very organic in the way that they're going to find it. What is a 4? I forgot what a 4 is. Oh, a D4, right? A D4? D4, which rerolls pedestals and stuff. Item rooms, maybe? I can't remember. I cannot remember. Oh well. But yeah, we're gonna have it's gonna be a fun time with like you know, the 5 of us ever playing that campaign eventually. It may not even see the light of day for like months as well. That's the other annoyance that I have with it. So I would like to be able to I more or less just want to test it, right? Like that's the main thing, is like once I get it going and stuff, like does everything flow in the way I want it to? Do the twists and plot points and stuff really make sense? Are there any issues with pacing and stuff? Like, do I need to make stuff a little bit quicker or slower, or... I would like to pick that up, but I can't, I got the tick. Just having Tiny Planet is just kind of hilarious with this, because I'm like, okay. I'll take that. Stem cells HP. As I do have lives. Pentagram for damage up. We'll take it. And... Guppy's Tail. First chest. Delightful. Delightful. But yeah, I am kind of looking forward to it, right? It's probably one of the I like designing campaigns like this and like having one idea and it just being like, okay, this is the idea now, this is what's happening, this is how we're gonna set it all up and stuff, is like the one reason why I like DMing in the first place. It's just being like, okay, now on, this is what's happening. It's a weird room. Right. Like, there's no way that kind of like how stuff is going to function with all the stuff would be the same, right? Health up, nice. My words are just completely left me. This it's kind of worth it, but it isn't at the moment. Like, I'm like 2 guppy items away, and it would be great if I did. And then I'm gonna regret like not picking up Hive Mind. No. Not Hive Mind. Is that Hive Mind? There are so many items for me to remember, and my brain is not the one to remember them ever. But the good news is, because like this also hits like every block, the more blocks there are, the more Jacob's Ladder effects go off, right? Use that once. Thank you very much. So like having like walls and stuff for them to kind of like, or blocks them to pass through is like really efficient to how I want to play this. And all they need is like piercing shots as well, and this would just be kind of hilarious as a build. Ooh, we can go back here. Why am I playing this? I have no idea. I just feel like playing it. Yeah, I mean, like other campaigns and stuff I've had, like they're kind of interesting in their own right, right? Can't pick that up. Like nothing is like ever outstanding or up there, but they really do add to the world and the thing I end up creating with them, right? Like that's the main thing, is like how much of an impact does this have on the story? Come on, dude. Fine. I'll just take a hit just to kill you. I'm annoyed by that. And yes, I could have stopped firing, but then my tear rate would go down, and then what would I do? But yeah, so the main thing is, like, there's a good ending, there's a bad ending, and yeah, and everything in between. Although the good ending is not really a good ending. I think that's probably the biggest difference I've had with this setup, right? Is the fact that this doesn't really have, like, an actual good ending. It's just a probably unsatisfying ending. Right? It's one where no one really wins, but there are still losses, right? But that's kind of the whole point about it. And then the theme about it is that sense of loss and identity, and kind of like what you hold true to yourself kind of thing. Like, I think that's like the best thematic I think I could come up with it. It's like, are you still who you are because of like different things and stuff like that? You know, is the Lady of the Land still the Lady of the Land, despite the fact that people end up hating her? She's still a monster and everything else. Well, is she still there just to protect her people, or does she give up on those goals because of the fact that who she now is and how she's being treated? Right? The thematics of that can be quite powering, and I think like that's the way I want to go with like the main kind of point of it all, I guess. Like, there's still some debates and stuff on that. Like, I mean, that is like one of the story beat points that I was playing with anyway. And then you've got this idea of like, is it better to not know the truth or to know the truth type thing, right? Like, is it better for her as essentially like the Lady of the Land to know that she has been killing people without realizing it? Or, and is that something that's under her control? Does she take responsibility for that as well? Like, as much as you want to argue the point of like, you know, well, she has no choice, like, it's not something that she does. It's like, you know, like almost like a different part of that. But it's like, technically, it's who she is now anyway. So, like, we could argue over it on thematics, on the idea of, like, she couldn't control it, there's nothing really that she could have done. Like, true. At the same time, though, it's like just something she's got to live with. So, how does the character rationalize that in that way, in that moment of, like, she's probably going to be essentially murdering people that she ends up coming across on repeat. You know? And basically without her knowledge as well. You gotta remember that, like, she doesn't even know she's doing this. Like, she'll just wake up one morning and then find out, like, you know, the people next to her are no longer there. Right? Or everyone's running away from her for no apparent reason and she doesn't know why. And then there's, like, this idea of, like, does she even age now? Like, is she classed as a monster? Like, all this other cool stuff and things like that, like, thematic-wise, is kind of very interesting. And, like, this is kind of why I love D&D, is, like, adding to these thematics and, like, what's going on is kind of really cool, right? Let's go up. We do have a life, so it's not like, you know, and we do revive in the room. Across the blind again. I guess this is the way we want to go. So yeah, it's an interesting idea that I've been messing with, and I am really looking forward to, like, actually finally get to use it and stuff, right? I mean, it's probably one of the biggest things I end up doing is I will set up themes for shot bomb, really. I had a long fuse. I like setting up themes and stuff to allow stuff to kind of, like, happen. So I think, like, if you have, like, a theme idea, you know what you're kind of basing the whole story around. Admittedly, I might trim back some of the themes of the story, just to, allow that, like, identity one to come across in some ways as well. And I think, like, the cool thing about it is, like, given the current climate and everyone's focus on identity in the first place, could have not killed him, actually. Can't take that either. That was a monstrous button. I never saw that coming. That's a shame. We're doing quite well there. Oh, my fault. I was taking lots of damage and stuff. I could have probably had a lot more health. But yeah, there we go. That was a loss. Again, thank you for enjoying my ramblings. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.